What is going on, guys? Back with another video. So Bitcoin dominance continues to rally and our altcoins are literally doing nothing. So currently at around 58%, and I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to 60%. We do have some news which will come out very soon regarding an expected 25 basis rate cut, which the Fed are expected to announce, which will make it the third consecutive rate cut, right? Which is very bullish. If it comes in as expected, as I've said, 25 basis points, which is, people are pretty confident that that's what's going to happen, right? But again, guys, you never know what will happen. But hopefully, we see that rate cut, which should be able to help the market. Will it help the altcoins or will it continue dominance? Only time will tell. But again, guys, you've got a great opportunity to pick up some altcoins which are on some decent dips, right? So over the week mainly, we've seen quite a bit of red on not all the altcoins, on a decent amount. So today I'm going to be talking about 3 high caps which I think are still at good levels. And people are still making videos on Solana or on XRP or something like Sui, which has rallied very hard and is already over 13 billion. So these 3 that I'm going to cover are still undervalued in my opinion. First one is Sei, and this is a layer 1 which I believe has huge upside from here. Around 2 billion in market cap, and dilution is also not too harsh. I think around 50% until June 2025, which you'll probably be out of anyway. But the reason I like this, guys, is it has a huge use case. Layer 1s are probably, just like AI, the most in-demand narrative, and I think Sei is a very good project. It has a huge use case. TVL isn't the best, but I do believe we will see that improve as the ecosystem grows. They do have a very good ecosystem already with a lot of different applications, projects which are building on Sei. You can see here the list. You've got AI, you've got data analytics, you've got DeFi, you've also got gaming, NFTs, and we also have a good list of memes as well, which are on Sei. So this ecosystem will continue to grow. It is still early days in my opinion, and pretty fast as well. It's got a huge amount of use case, very fast, and the main thing with this as well, it's got huge backers: Coinbase Ventures, Delphi Ventures, Multicoin Capital, and some very good backers in this as well, which is also could be seen as a bit of a negative when it comes to selling pressure. But again, guys, that is pretty much the case in all of the high caps, such as Sui as well, which has huge backers in it as well. This is still undervalued, and at 2 billion in market cap, guys, I can still see this potentially doing a 10x from here. In my tier list, I did say this is a 5x. I do believe 5 to 10x is possible. Something around 20 billion, I think, is possible even from here. And if you compare that to something like Sui, 10x is going to be 130 billion in market cap, which I think is too high for Sui. It probably still can, hit the 100 billion, but I think Sei is a better investment at this stage. Of course, not financial advice. It also has a use case for financial institutions as well, who can basically utilize Sei and they can launch different financial products, asset management projects, and a huge diverse use case as well. So this is a very good pick, and I think it's something which is an undervalued ecosystem. I think in terms of the TVL, which is pretty low compared to other chains, I think that will continue to grow. Volume is also pretty healthy as well, nearly 200 million in volume. Exchange listings, it's already got the major exchanges. It's got Binance, it's got Coinbase, it's got the main exchanges. So it's easy to get. People can buy this, and I think it's going to do well. So this would be the first high cap on the list. I personally rotated some profits from Sui and also Solana into Sei. I think it has potential in the short term to give you some good gains, which I will then rotate into the low caps and micro caps, which I love. So that would be the first project on the list, guys. In terms of what they're doing, very bullish on Sei, and it's going to continue to do well. And I also like how they get into the memes as well, which I do think will make a major comeback. That will be the first project on the list. As I've said, I still believe a 10x is on the cards. The second project, guys, is Beam, which I believe is the most strongest gaming project you can currently get into. Bullish news as they've integrated into AI also as well. So they're hitting 2 very important narratives: gaming, AI, and I just think this is going to perform very well also with smart contracts. Around 1.6 billion in market cap, we've seen a nice 10% cut, which 10% might not seem too much, but at this stage in the bull run, 10% in a project like Beam could give you a good entry point. Now, of course, you should have probably been buying in earlier, but when you compare this to some of the other projects which have already ran 10, 20, 30, 40x, this is still early, in my opinion, into what it can do. So in terms of what they do, guys, this is obviously your gaming sort of ecosystem. They offer a variety of different games on the Beam Hub. And these are very high quality games. These aren't your low quality, cheap games. These are high quality games which have been developed by very strong, fundamentally strong teams. And on top of that, they have a huge amount of partnerships as well. Token has solid utility as well. Use it for the gas token on the Beam network. They also do burns as well, which is also very bullish. You can use it for governance. You can use it for in-game purchases of items, NFTs, and other in-game utility. So I like what they do. Also, as I've said, 38% of the supply has been burnt. And, the tokenomics in terms of dilution from here is not an issue. So Beam is solid. They also have the companion app as well, where you can, download different items, NFTs, and you can also compete with friends, share collectibles as well. And also, as I've said, them getting into AI as well is also very bullish, which is very important, as we've seen other gaming projects such as Myria also take that step going into AI. And on top of that, L1 gaming and AI, you've got a project which I believe is going to perform very, very well. So in terms of Beam, where can it go? As I've said, I featured this in my gaming portfolio. I still believe this could give you a 10x. 10x is only around 20 billion market cap. Obviously, IMX is the sort of the leader of in terms of market cap. I do believe Beam could potentially flip IMX. I think getting into AI is a very bullish move, and you can just see the amount of sort of adoption they have. Constant, partnerships. You can see here Beam AI, a new division which is led by a University of Oxford trained research mathematician, which is huge, guys. And this is going to, combine artificial intelligence and digital gaming. And this is a very solid project. And it's a project which you're still going to get into early, in my opinion. Of course, not early. You could have been buying this at, better levels when it was down earlier, at these levels. But, you can still get a project which could still potentially give you a 10x, in my opinion. Volume is also very good. Exchanges are pretty solid. They've already got the Binance listing. They've got Kraken, Bybit. So the exchanges are solid as well. And, this is going to bring in a lot of retail and institutions who will definitely invest into a project like Beam. So yeah, solid project. And I still hold this and I'm continuing to DCA into it. And, as I've said, potential 5 to 10x from here. So very good project. The final project is Arweave, guys. This is another project which I think has a huge, huge potential and upside from this current point. I was buying this at, very cheap around 2 years ago, around $2. And, I did sort of DC it out, but it has had a good correction. It's down around 25%. And I think at this final stage of getting to the end of the bull run, where in terms of high caps, this still has a potential to do anywhere from a 5 to 10x from here. 1.2 billion in market cap. What is this, guys? I've covered this before. It's permanent storage. I prefer this over Filecoin. It's more cost effective. You can use this for a variety of different use cases, from literal, DeFi, from file storage, from, video storage to images to gaming to social storage, NFTs. And I just like what they're doing. And something which a lot of people are still unaware of, they are partnered with Meta, Instagram, and some huge, companies to basically use Arweave to store NFTs from Instagram. So you can see here, Meta to use decentralized data storage protocol Arweave to store NFTs from Instagram. This is massive. We've seen how big Meta are in the space. And for them to use Arweave just shows you the confidence these big companies have in Arweave. And I still believe at 1.2 billion, this is a project which could easily surpass that sort of 15 billion level. And I think a 10x is still on the cards. They've also a layer one as well, and they've got an ecosystem which is growing. You can see here 144 different apps, projects, and services which are currently on Arweave. And these are, huge exchanges. You've got different tools for developers. You've got storage, you've got NFTs, gaming, wallets. So the use case is massive. And, this is good for people who want something which is effective, where they don't need to be paying, monthly. They can pay the one-off fee and they can get the permanent storage, facilities for a wide range of different use cases, DeFi, NFTs, gaming, file storage, videos, anything you can think of, you can store using Arweave. And, this is a project which has huge links. They've got, huge backing, and They also give funding as well. So, this is an incentive for the Arweave ecosystem to grow. It already is growing and it's going to continue to grow as people see the value in this project. They also have, good sort of links. They're trying to expand the company in terms of, worldwide. You can see here in Asia. And, overall, I just think this is a project which is going to perform well even from here. You can see here, they've also partnered with some NFTs as well. And, who knows where this can go. But for me, I think 15 billion would be 11x. I still think it's possible from here. Of course, guys, you should be taking profits along the way. So, maybe scale out at, $50, $70, $100, etc., etc. That way you guarantee profits and you aren't going to be a bag holder for the next cycle. So anyway, guys, those are 3 projects. We've got Sei, we've got Beam, and we've got Arweave. We've got Sei, which is a strong layer 1. We've got Beam, which is also L1. And also Arweave, which is an L1. So, and also we've got Beam in gaming and AI. So we've got 3 key narratives here, which is probably the best narratives for this cycle: layer 1, gaming, and artificial intelligence. In terms of other projects, which I think are good projects from here, we're going to ignore, I think AVAX still has potential. It is around 19 billion. I do believe this will smash through 100 billion. It's got a huge use case for gaming, NFTs, and, has a huge sort of ecosystem, and it's very high in terms of the TVL for chains. I think Sui, personally, guys, I think you're too late to Sui. I think, this is already pumped massively. You probably can still get a 5x out of Sui, but, you're better off, in my opinion, going into Sei. I think Aptos is not too bad. I think, this could also give you potentially 10x. VeChain, obviously an old project, which is rallied. Render, this is another very good project, which I think can perform well. So yeah, guys, there's still good projects to invest into. I think these 3 are probably the best options from my opinion. But yeah, guys, hopefully we see dominance correct. And the thing is, guys, this dropping 5%, just 5% is going to trigger, the money flow into altcoins on an extreme level. Imagine if we see 40%. Are we going to see under 40%? It's difficult in my opinion, guys, but we don't need under 40%. If we can get to 40 to 45%, we will see a parabolic alt season. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and also subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and I'll see you very soon for the next video.